Hello, this is the pre-recorded class number 8, part 4, and today in this video lecture we are going to cover how to pass the 2D array from main function to another function, or when we are calling a function, how to pass an array as a parameter, how to pass the 2D array. I guess in our last lecture, in the last pre-recorded classes, if we have seen all of them, we got a clear idea that what happens when we pass an array from one function to another function as a parameter, and when we change the values of that array. So basically we are going to change the values in our main function, right? So when we are declaring an array, we are allocating some spaces in the main function, so that memory, so doesn't matter in which function we are calling and doing change our arrays, but basically we are pointing to the the arrays memory in our main function. So that's what we have seen our last lecture, which is video recording number 8 part 3. So that kind of things has been shown in there. So in this one we are going to talk about the 2D array, the simple 2D array, and how to pass the 2D array. So that basic we are going to see from here. So here you see we have one array. So basically I'm going to show you what we have if we are passing more than one array, and if we are passing the variables and the combination of variables and array. So let's see. So here in the main function, let's see, we have one array to the array, right? Integer, we are declaring an array to the array with the value the 2 rows and 5 columns. So this has been declared here, and then we are declaring another array to the array 1. Let us say the name is to the array 1. So the difference is on 1. There is 1 here and we don't have 1 here. So these two we have in here. We have a matrix with 3 by 3 array. So this is an array with 3 by 3. So here I'm calling a function. That function has been declared here, and obviously it is a void function, so nothing has to be returned. So here you see when I'm calling the function, first I'm passing my 2D array. Which array I'm passing? I'm passing this 2D array. I'm passing this 2D array. Okay, forget about that part now. Forget about that part. So here I'm passing one array, and forget about the second array now. We are not going to count our second array in this case. Now let us make that one a very normal code where we have only a single array, like this. Okay, so this is my 2D array, one 2D array. So I'm calling the function, the void function, and I'm passing my 2D array. Always remember, this will work exactly like before, like the 1D array. So here when we are passing the 2D array, we just have to write down the name of the 2D array. But here you have to remember that you have to give the column size in here when you write it inside the function as parameter list. Always remember that column size has to be given here. You don't have to mention the row size. Otherwise, if you miss the column size, for example this, then you will get an error. It will
স্যার
not.
এটা তো শুধু 2D array ক্ষেত্রে তাই না?
Yes, this is only valid for the 2D array. In 1D array, you just have to put this square bracket, that's all. But in 2D array, you have to keep in mind that you have to give the size of the column at least. But if you say that no sir, I would go for both the row and the column, no problem, just write both and it will work perfectly fine. Wait, what? Sorry, the size was 2 and 5, 2 and 5. I'm passing 2 and 5. What is the mistake? The mistake is that here you have to find the integer row equal to 2 and column equal to 5. Now you execute, there will be no issue, it will run perfectly fine and you will get your values. But if you so the proper way to write it down in this way, you don't have to mention the row size, just you have to mention the column size in there, and you execute your code, it will run perfectly. So here you see, here you have the 2D array you are passing here, and the column size is 5, so that's why you have to mention at least the column size, and then you are declaring two variables. Here you see, here this is your 2D array, so our target wants to get the multiplication of each element of this 2D array. That means we are going to get the square value of each and we are going to print out the 2D array elements. We will square the value for each element and we will print out it. So here you see we are going to update the value of our 2D arrays with the square value. That means this value
Sir,
will be
I have a
updated
question.
hold on a second. Then this value will be updated to 4, and this value will be updated to 9. This value will be updated to 16. This will be updated to 25, and this one will be 4. This one will be 16. This one will be 36. This one will be 64, and this one will be 100. So how it is working? You are passing the 2D array here. So this will be your 2D array now. Then you are taking two variables, and normally we already know how to get the multiplication of a 2D array. So this kind of process, this kind of calculations, or this kind of coding we have done before. So we are taking a nested for loop, and what I'm doing, 2D array ij equal to 2D array ij into multiplication of 2D array ij. So this is basically going to give you the multiplication of two values, and that one will be set in here. So that's what we have. So you see here, you are passing the 2D array, and you have to mention the array name. And same before, you are printing out the value in your main function, though you are updating the value inside your void function, but you are printing the function in your main function. So instead of printing out this value, we are getting the updated value, which are multiplication of each values or the square of each of this element. This is because what this lecture has been given in the last pre-recorded class, in video record class number 8, part 3. So that's what we have done in the last class. So we already know why we are getting the square value in here, but just the objective was to show you how we pass the 2D array as parameter list. Yes, go on. You had a question?
Yes sir. Sir, ফার্স্টে আপনি এখানে void function integer 2d arrayতে আপনি একটা বাদ দিছেন, যেটা হচ্ছে যে ভেরিয়েবল, এখানে আপনার ইন্টিজার রো যেটা, সেটা আপনি স্যার ওখানে লেখেন নাই, কিন্তু ইন্টিজার দিয়ে রো লেখেন। তো এটা কোনো সমস্যা হবে না কেন?
কোথায় সমস্যা হবে না কেন?
না, এখানে স্যার ইন্টিজার 2, এই যে void ফাংশনের এখানে আপনি বলছেন যে একটা না দিলেও হবে, সেটা হচ্ছে স্যার আপনার রোটা। তো আবার এখানে ইন্টিজার রো আবার 2 ডিক্লেয়ার করছেন স্যার। তো স্যার আমি যদি এখানে 2 ডিক্লেয়ার করে দিই তাহলে এখানে তো লাগবে না, ঠিক না?
That means you want to declare here?
ইয়েস স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার, আমি যদি এখানে ডিক্লেয়ার করি তাহলে তো মনে হয় ওখানে লাগবে না।
That means you want to skip that part?
ইয়েস
That's
স্যার,
what you want to say?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Let's check. No, still there is a problem, right?
ভ্যারিয়েবল ডিক্লেয়ার হয় নাই তাই।
Error. What is the error? The row was not declared and the column was not declared. Why? Because we are using the row
ভ্যারিয়েবল
and column here, right? Because we are giving the name of the row and column in here, but we did not mention row and column in anywhere, right? So how
Yes,
your
sir.
program will pick the name of the row and column? It won't work. So this is basically not going to tell you this size. These are proper variable. These have no relation with these two.
ওকে স্যার।
Because these are the size. These are actually taking the size in your memory, right? But
Yes.
this is going to tell you how many times this row will continue. This loop will continue. They are not going to pick the value from here.
জি স্যার। আর স্যার আরেকটা কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে যে স্যার আমরা ভয়েড ফাংশনে এটা আপডেট বা প্রিন্ট আউট হচ্ছে না, কারণ এখানে মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন হচ্ছে, যত ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল যা টার্ম হচ্ছে আপনার, আর যেটা প্রিন্ট আউট হবে সেটা হচ্ছে স্যার ইন্টিজার মেইনের পর থেকে।
You can print it out in your void function as well. Instead of printing out here, we can take it in the void function. Here also we can do that, right? We can
Yes.
get the same result. So this explanation has been given in our last class, right?
Yes,
I don't think you have any issues.
No, sir.
I don't think you will have any issue if you see the last class, the last pre-recorded class.
Yes sir, yes sir.
That has been cleared in there. That why we can print out the value in anywhere, and it is going to always give us the updated value. And this is only possible for array case. It could be a 1D array, 2D array, doesn't matter. All right. So far it is clear, right? Now I want to add one more array here. Let us add one more array. So this is the integer array 1. Okay, I'm adding that array here. So this is a 3x3 matrix. So I want to add one more array. So let us give the name of that array in here. So what I wanted to show you guys that we can add as many as array in our parameter list, and we can pass it to any other function. Just we have to keep in mind that our syntax is correct. Now you write down your array name in here. So definitely you have to give one integer type here. Then it was array 1 and it was 3 by 3 matrix. So definitely instead of 5 it will be 3, right? So now just say that this one is going to give you the added value, means so this array will be passed in here, and I want to add each of the value with 1 plus 1, and this element will be added with him. So this will be 4, this will be 3 plus 3 will be 6, this will be 2 plus 2 will be 4, this will be 4 plus 4 will be 8, and this will be 6 plus 6 will be 12. So instead of multiplication, I would like to get what? I would like to get the addition of these two numbers. So here instead of the row and column, it will be not row and column. The size is 3 now. So let us put 3 in here. So 2D array, definitely it is not 2D array anymore. It should be 2D array 1, and it is 2D array 1. So instead of plus sign here we will have, sorry, instead of multiplication here we will have the plus sign. And now if we want to print it out, so let's copy and paste this one here. So okay, if we want to put one extra line, so here we have the 2D array. Okay, now if we execute, you see now we have two arrays, right? And we are executing our arrays. Now I guess there will be no problem, you see. Now those are going to give us what? Okay, we made a mistake. Where is the mistake? Still
স্যার
we
এখানে
are
2D অ্যারে 1 লেখেন না। হ্যাঁ স্যার এখানে 2D অ্যারের জায়গায় 1 লেখেন না একদম লাস্টে।
where we did not
এই যে স্যার
write here.
1,
That's
yes
why
sir.
what is happening every time we are getting the result for the
স্যার এখানে
fine, right? Now we are getting the added value instead of multiplication. We are getting the added value. So now we got to know that it doesn't matter. We can send one 2D array, 1D array, whatever we want. Here also we can add one 1D array. For example, you have one 1D array here. Say here you have integer 1D array, and the size is 3. And you put the value 10.
Second যেটা প্রিন্ট করছেন ওটা তো 3 by 3 ম্যাট্রিক্স।
Sorry, come again.
সেকেন্ড যেটা প্রিন্ট করছেন ওটা তো 3 by 3 ম্যাট্রিক্স, রাইট?
3 by 3 matrix. That's why you have to. Okay, sorry.
স্যার
Sorry.
এইখানে স্যার 3 হবে, ওই যে এখানে 3
জি
হবে।
স্যার এটাই বলছিলাম।
Sorry. This has to be 3 by 3. So that's why you will get the 3 by 3 in here. Okay. So here also we have given 3. So now you see, yep, now it's correct. Sorry for the mistake. Last time there was a problem. That was my mistake. Instead of 3, I put the 2 and 5 in there, right? I didn't take it. Now you see that in this case, if you want to add one more array, for example, I'm adding one more array, 1D array. So you can pass this 1D array as well. So just put a comma, put your 1D array in here, and just put comma, integer, 1D array, give the size, whatever size it is. If it is 4, then put 4 in here. Sorry, you don't have to put the size in there, and you do the calculation and you come back and so on. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, that we can pass the 1D, 2D, whatever we want. So now just say that we don't have to pass the row and column in this way. We just want to write down the integer row and column here. So let us write down integer row, integer column, and let us get the comma. Now here, forget about that 1D array. Okay, so what will happen here? 2D array, then comma, then what we have two value, we have row and column 2, 5. So the 2 will go where? The 2 will go in row, and the column will be 5, right? So now we can just run this code and there will be no issues. Okay, where is the issue? We are adding 2,5. We did not, we forgot to keep the comma in there. So here you see we did not declare the integer row and column inside my function. So let's see whether it works or not. So if we execute, it works perfectly. Now there is no row and column has been declared inside because that has been declared in my function parameter. So we don't have to declare it inside, and we are passing the value in here. So let's see how we are passing the value. We are calling the function. Then we have here the 2D array. Then we have the size. Now we are passing any variable. So basically we can pass array in the 2D 1D array variable, so it has to be aligned with this. So when we are defining our real function, the function calling parameters has to be aligned. That means if the 2D array is coming first, if this one is coming first, we have to make sure that we have that array at the first position. For example, you have given the row and column in the second and third position, but if you want to keep it first, then there will be a conflict, so we cannot write it down in this way. Okay, this will not work because if it's going to look, we are calling the 2D array at the first position, but in the first position we have a normal variable, so there will be an issue. You got my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far it's clear. So that's all from the 2D array, and I'm going to stop my pre-recorded class here on video recording related to function.